What's up, everybody? GameLeap here, coming at you with a brand new Valorant video. And in this video, we got a lot of damn things to talk about. We got some really huge skin leaks. And no, they're not just any skins, they're freaking anime skins. So we gotta break all that down. Plus, there's actually weapon leaks. We know multiple weapons that got their prices changed. We already knew about the Frenzy change and the Stinger range change, but Stinger also got a number change and another weapon got a number change as well. So we're going to talk all about that. And then last up, we got to talk about the brand new game mode that is going to be absolutely perfect for warming up and improving. So let's break it all down and make sure you watch to the end so you don't miss out on any of the info. But go to the GameLeap website in the links down below for exclusive in-depth advanced guides that you won't find anywhere else. If you want to climb this new patch to your new all-time highs to Immortal and beyond, do yourself a favor, go check it out in the links down below. But without further ado, let's jump into the video. Now, the first thing that we gotta break down is, of course, the skins. And the brand new type of skins that I really wanted to talk about is the Go Bundle, aka the freaking anime skins. And each gun in the pack is going to correspond with the character, and it's going to be on the gun in anime form. And each gun is also going to get a gun buddy that's going to be a chibi gun buddy that matches the character on the gun. Now, I'm not going to go through each gun one at a time. I'm just going to show you pictures up here so you get a look or a sneak peek at what these have to offer, and you can decide whether you want them for yourself. But I will take note of this freaking kunai, because what in the goddamn it she has going on? This is fire. Like, it's awesome. Now, some of you might not like the fact that Jet is on that kunai, and they would rather just have a blank kunai so you could use it for every character or whatever. But there's actually a Riot that responded to why they specifically wanted to plaster this kunai with Jet, and it's actually for competitive integrity. I'm gonna read what the developer said about it here. Quote, "This was a happy medium. We still wanted to do the Jet-inspired equip animation and had to find a suitable knife for it, and ultimately, this helped in the clarity between what was Jet's ult and what was this melee. So they're trying to honor Jet as a character and make a melee weapon that represents her, but at the same time, they didn't want people to be confused between the ultimates and the knife, and I think that was pretty important as well. So all in all, this is what we got, and honestly, I really freaking like these skins. I'm a huge anime fan for the culture, and you know, I probably am going to end up buying these. Freaking Riot, you got me. I've been complaining about your pricing for so damn long, but if I can't help but buy it, I mean, you know, it's my fault that the prices are this way, so y'all can all just blame me because I can't stop myself from buying these freaking skins. But let's talk about the next skins, which is the Celestial skins, which, you know, after seeing the anime skins, I'm, you know, a little underwhelmed. I really actually like these skins a lot. They look really sick, especially that knife that turns into a freaking fan. Amazing skins so far this patch. I'm really excited about it. But as usual, let me know what you think about both these skin types in the comments down below. I'm really interested in your opinion about both sets. Now, before we get into the crazy weapon leaks that I need to talk about, we have to talk about the Escalation game mode, which is a very interesting game mode in my personal opinion. Now, I'm not going to overly bore you with all the specifics of the game mode. It's ultimately a 5v5, and one team is trying to get to the highest level, and you get that way through getting kills or earning points by getting kills. And ultimately in this game, as you rank up through the levels by getting kills, you're going to be getting different guns. You're going to be getting either a variety of guns or specific ones. Let me show you the levels here. Level 1 is always going to be either the Raze rocket launcher, which is Raze's rocket launcher, or a Vandal or a Phantom. Level 2 is always going to be a Vandal or a Phantom. Level 3 through 11 is going to be a variety of weapons and abilities, so you can get abilities. Level 12 is going to be possibly a shorty, classic knife, stun arrow, or even a snowball thrower. And health is going to be dropped upon death, and it's going to expire after 10 seconds. Now, I really like this game mode for a number of different reasons, but let me really talk about some of the really big key points that you should take note of. First off, you respawn incredibly quickly, and you'll have immunity to damage for the first 5 seconds. Because it's a team-based game, you're going to probably spawn relatively near where your teammates are, not in the middle of the enemy team, and it's going to be a very fast-paced game. People are going to be respawning and killing and respawning and killing, and this is one of the best things for a game mode like this, because one of the big problems of a game like Spike Rush for warming up is you die and you just stay dead, and you're not just constantly getting more and more playtime, more and more practice time, more and more warm-up time, this is far better suited for warming up in general, and you get to try a multitude of different weapons. There's no one weapon that is just gonna ruin the mode. Everyone just gets flushed through a ton of different weapons. You can warm up on all the weapons, and you even get to try out some abilities as well. I don't know exactly what the full list of those abilities are gonna be, but all in all, this seems like a mode that really encompasses everything you need. You got mechanical warm-up, you got ability warm-up, you got fast-paced gameplay. It's incredibly fun, at least it sounds like it's fun. There's a lot I really like about it, but definitely let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. Do you like it, hate it? Would you rather have a competitive game mode? I want to know your opinion about all of that in the comments down below. Now, the last thing that we really got to talk about is the big one, because the weapons got leaked. The weapon changes got leaked for this patch 2.03, and they've talked about it before, but these are the full weapon changes, at least as far as the price are concerned. So we really got to talk about each one individually, and then we got to say what that means for these guns. Well, first, let's talk about the Frenzy. We've recently mentioned it in the video, so I'm not going to harp on it too much, but 400 to 500 means you can't buy armor with it anymore, means that Ghost is a viable option up against it because you can't get rushed down by it, and you can kill the Frenzy user with a headshot. All in all, the Frenzy is going to take a huge step back in the current ranked and pro meta because of this change, which I think is just good for a lot of people. It's becoming a lot more frenzy and rush people down, which is not really the nuance that I would personally like to see in a pistol round. But as usual, I want to know if you liked it or disliked it, and do you think that this change will be enough? I personally 100% think that this will remove the Frenzy from the meta altogether. It will see play here or there, but not default play. But I want to know your opinion about it, so definitely let me know. And the next weapon we got to talk about is the Stinger. Now, yes, the Stinger was already talked about to get a giant range nerf, and that was going to probably be enough to remove the Stinger from being good in a lot of different situations. Maybe not overpowered because it couldn't beam people across the map for it being a freaking Stinger, but they also changed the price from 1,000 to 1,100. And this isn't a huge change by any means, but this is actually a pretty damn big deal when you talk about this in conjunction with the other nerfs. Now, with the nerfs and the price combined, I'm much more confident that the Stinger is going to be in a better place than it was before by quite a bit of a margin. I don't quite know exactly what the range distance is going to look like. For that big nerf, we don't know what the numbers are going to be yet, but we do know that they're coming in patch 2.03 tomorrow, and we also know that the Stinger is getting a price increase, even if it's only by 100 credits. This altogether can be a pretty big deal. This could be the difference between not getting that ability or not getting that armor, and it all adds up to make the gun a little bit weaker and a little bit weaker. But ultimately, we're gonna have to just see how much these range nerfs affect the Stinger, because that's gonna be the really important point. If that doesn't affect the Stinger hardly at all, then this 100 credits isn't gonna matter all that much either. But if that's a pretty decent nerf to the power level of the Stinger, then this is gonna be more icing on the cake. So we're gonna have to wait and see on that one. Now, the last weapon change is an interesting one that kind of came out of left field. I don't even know where this came from at all, but I'm pretty excited about it, to be honest, and it's the Marshall going from 1,100 to only 1,000. Now, I really personally love the Marshall, and the Marshall can be a weapon that is really, really strong, but there are two really big problems with the Marshall. First one, if you win that first round, it sometimes can be pretty hard to buy a Marshall, because if you buy a Marshall and the enemy team buys like Stinger plus armor, they could survive that first body shot if you don't hit that head, and they're just gonna run you down, so you can't reliably abuse it when the enemy team doesn't buy armor, because it doesn't feel like that happens all that much. The next problem, like I said, is the mechanical skill requirement. Very difficult, and sometimes enemies have to play in a certain way for you to get value out of it, and you have to also play, usually defensively, in a certain way to get value out of it yourself. But with the Frenzy changes and the Stinger nerfs, perhaps we're going to see a meta far less centered around people just force buying. If that becomes true, then the Marshall becomes a lot better, because fights are going to be more rifle-based, more slow-based, maybe even operator-based, and the Marshall thrives in that environment. The Marshall's not that bad against the operator. It's pretty good against rifles that don't just Ferrari peek angles, but peek very specifically, counter-strafe. You get an opportunity to click them in the head, and a much slower-based game, the Marshall gets better. Plus, not to mention that second round after you win that first round, if enemies are forcing less and instead just saving for rifles, the Marshall can one-shot body shot, which is amazing. So there's a lot that I like about this. It's really just a slight change, but overall, because of the other changes, Marshall could see a really good uptick in its pick rate. But as usual, let me know what you think about the Marshall. Do you love it, hate it? I want to know your opinion about it in the comments down below. And go to the GameLeap website in the links down below for everything you possibly need to master any weapon in the game and dominate the new meta. We have in-depth advanced guides, VOD reviews, tips and tricks over exclusive content you won't find anywhere else. Do yourself a favor, go check it out in the links down below. But thank you so much for coming by. Hope you enjoyed the video. That's all I got for you today. I'm Coach Mills, and see you tomorrow.